From the local station, this is Weather Authority Weekday.
Hello, and welcome to the Weather Authority Weekday Show. It's Wednesday. It's October 1st. We made it to October. Yeah, and it's feeling like fall out there. If you got out this morning, it was pretty nice. Yeah, I felt a little bit of humidity, but once you made it into town, and I live in Jax Beach, once I made it to town, gosh, I was like, oh, there's a little bit of crisp air. Yeah, and we're going to have that at least now, hopefully till the end of the year. I think we're done with our 90-degree weather. It ended in September. I think we hit officially like around 112 days. So 111 would put us in second place for the number of days at or above 90 as our high. But let's talk about what's happening outside today, October 1st, Wednesday, hump day. All right, we have a few things going on our radar map here. Now, thankfully, there's no rain on our radar map. That's the good news. But we do have a small craft advisory. And this small craft advisory lasts through Sunday, meaning the water is super choppy, 20 to 60 nautical miles. Boaters, this is dangerous conditions, especially for the small craft. You know that. You follow the rules. Be aware of the water around you. All right, we also have a rip current risk. That's all the areas along our coast, pretty much up and down the entire eastern seaboard. This is because of the ripple effects from the two hurricanes out in the Atlantic. And you know what? When you have hurricanes, they displace water, and when displaced water moves, it has to run into land. And that's what we're seeing with these high waves. A high surf advisory, rip current risk is high, super hazardous, dangerous water. Stay away, follow the flags. Then we have a coastal flood advisory, and that means during high tide that the opportunity for tidal waters to flood areas is very high, and we have that throughout the weekend as well. All right, taking a look at the boats at the marina here. So I like to see the boats parked. I mean, it's okay to be in the river, but especially out in the Atlantic, it's pretty dangerous. Now, here's a good look at that Atlantic Ocean from our Guy Harvey Resort camera in St. Augustine Beach. Folks staying on the water. What I like to see on this camera is nobody in the water. And those waves are hazardous. They're dangerous. And even the surfers can get pulled under and swept away by a rip current. Morningstar Marina camera. Wind flapping the flag up here. Old Glory flying high and proud. The wind's right now out of the north at 8. So today, not as windy, but it will become windy later on in the day, and it's going to last with us from the northeast. It's going to have that nor'easter effect specifically starting, I think, tomorrow. So here's a look at the wind gusts across the area. They are in the 15-mile-per-hour range, and that's at the beach. 16 in St. Augustine, 14 at the airport, and that's just the gusty conditions right now. But here's the forecast wind gusts. Now, where you can see wind gusts in that 30, low 30, and check out the arrows. The arrows are the direction that the wind is coming from the north and the east and moving to the south and the west. And that's what's bringing in those high surf conditions. That's what's bringing in those coastal flood advisory conditions. Along with the wind, it brings in the water, and the water rises. It's not flooding from rain. It's flooding from the tides. And this morning at 6 a.m., we saw some high tide at Doctors Lake Marina into the, I don't have it pulled up, but brought it into the parking lot. So these wind gusts will stick around. If they get to 38, 39, 40 mile per hour gusts, National Weather Service will put out a wind advisory. So forecast wind gusts, we're going to see them throughout the weekend. This is all the way into Saturday morning, and then throughout Saturday afternoon and into Sunday as well. The gusty winds will continue. So dangerous conditions throughout the weekend, just not going to be an ideal beach weekend. Those breezy conditions stick around throughout today. Can't rule out a really stray shower around US 301 this afternoon into the evening, but for the majority of us, we'll stay on the dry side with more sunshine today than we saw yesterday, which is great. And then check out like tomorrow morning. Could wake up with some rainy conditions, especially in the southern counties of Flagler, Putnam, into South Clay County and Alachua counties. And then throughout the afternoon, we'll have some hit or miss showers throughout the day. Breezy conditions continuing out at the beaches. Now, sadly, Saturday looks to be pretty rainy, especially out at the beach. And this is where those nor'easter-like conditions come in, right? So we have the wind bringing in the wet rain, heavy downpours at times. Can't rule out a thunderstorm. This is Friday in the morning. As we move through Friday, the rain will likely stick around. and then throughout the weekend as well. All right, let's talk about the tropics. In the upper right-hand side of your screen, that's Hurricane Imelda, which is going to merge with a frontal boundary later on tonight and will no longer be Hurricane Imelda. Now, the one below it, that is Hurricane Imelda. And Imelda is heading straight towards Bermuda, likely to become a Category 2 storm by this afternoon, moving toward the island of Bermuda, which, I mean, wow, they've been pretty lucky all season long with storms going either west or storms going east of the island. And this one looks like it's going to be a little more damaging to Bermuda. So definitely check ahead, call your friends and family if you have any interests in Bermuda. You definitely want to check on them. Currently moving at east-northeast 21 miles per hour. And it is a 90-mile-per-hour storm expected to become a Category 2 storm this afternoon. So that's Imelda, which we're keeping a very close eye on as well. All right, for your pool planner today, today's a great day for the pool. Be a little cooler, breezy. Our average high for today should be 85. We're going to be right around that 84-degree mark. Could hit 85, could hit 83. And then temperatures at the beach staying in the lower 80s, so pretty pleasant day all around. Tonight, temperatures in the low 70s, right where we should be for this time of year. So, all right, here we have the 7-day forecast. And today, mostly dry and mostly sunny. Tomorrow, a little more opportunity for those rain chances to increase. We saw some on the forecast for the morning and then later on in the day. Rain chances increase a lot on Friday. Now, for your Friday night football plans, this could be a problem. Make sure you have your raincoat packed and ready to go. Make sure you have your rain boots because you're sitting outside in those bleachers. They get pretty wet and gross. And an umbrella is usually handy too. Throughout the weekend, we'll have hit or miss showers. I don't think we're gonna have a complete washout weekend, but mix in the wind with the rain, especially along our coastline. That's where we're gonna have those dangerous conditions and the rainiest weather. And then Monday, well, we have a Jaguar game. Monday Night Football with the Kansas City Chiefs coming to town. Pack a poncho. Make sure you have your Jaguar poncho ready to go in your clear bag because you just wanna make sure you have it all covered in case it does rain. Now, it's a 8:15 game. We could start to see the rain tapering off on Monday. So, of course, this schedule could be a little wiggly because it's still about 5 or 6 days out. So we want to just make sure you're covered and aware of the weather that can happen come Monday Night Football. I prefer to hang out on my couch and watch it there. All right. Thank you so much for tuning in today to the Weather Authority Weekday Show. Again, today's going to be pretty nice with clearing skies, temperatures in the 80s, and really that wind will start to increase throughout the day and become more gusty and windier throughout the evening into tomorrow. Plan on perhaps for some folks a wet bus ride in the morning, especially in our southern counties. Katie will update you coming up at noon, and Richard will be in with you this afternoon at 4. Make it a great day.
See why every day more people are choosing News4JAX, Northeast Florida and South Georgia's #1 source for local news.